Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Opel Classic Remastered. This time we'll take a look at the 1998 Opel Tigra Ice race car. This car is a bit of a legend in GT2. You have your Pikes Peak monsters on your second run of rally cars. You have this. This is a car from, I can't remember the name of the championship, but you can look it up. It's mental. They basically race on like ice tracks. These things have four-wheel steering. They don't really go above like 80 miles an hour, but they are very fun looking. They were actually on an episode of Top Gear once, and there's even like a Kia Rio ice race car, which I think is amazing. But yeah, in this game they do go over 80 miles an hour, and in fact this one is very, very quick. As I mentioned, sort of the second tier of rally cars. For me personally, I've never really got along with the ice race car. It's got a very short wheelbase, which does make it a little bit tricky to drive on dirt courses. But we'll see how it does on our tarmac and, well, dirt slightly coarse. This car has four-wheel drive, 532 horsepower, 950 kilos. Statistically, it is very, very quick indeed. But to find out how very, very quick indeed it is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track. It's going to get those 6 laps to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Mitsubishi GTO LM Edition, set a time of 27.223. If this behaves itself, it might be able to beat that. If it did, that would be an interesting time, because I'd have to say the top of my leaderboard, it has an Opel Tigra on it, but you know, at least it's not the Vauxhall version, I guess. The Vauxhall version, I think, in case you're wondering, I'm going to run the 29.1 on its first flyer, so that gives you an idea of its out-and-out speed. A little bit tricky to drive through there, but we got it under control. I think I'm going to run the Project A-Spec version of the Vauxhall when we come to it, just because it has a slightly different livery. I think this has got a better livery because I love the white, grey, yellow Opel scheme. They used this, I think they even used it for a couple of years in BTCC on the Vectras. And again, you know I don't like Vectras, actually Cavalier as well, come to think of it. I think 95 the Cav run it, and then 96 the Vectra run it. You know I don't like a Vauxhall here, but I will admit, that livery slapped. And it does on this too, it does look really good, but I'm going to use the A-Spec Vauxhall just because it looks a little bit more interesting. Or, again, do I want to say interesting? It looks different, you know, it doesn't look like I'm just running the same car twice, even though that's basically what we're doing, because, yeah. So, does that mean this car gets an advantage in this series? Possibly, although, with the way this is driving and how inconsistent it is to drive, I don't think that's really going to help it. This is not brilliant to drive. It is quick, though. 27.713. I think that's not too far off what that Evo 6 got. Admittedly, that Evo 6 was a better car to drive. Although, from what I remember, that Evo 6 also pulled its time out of its hat on the final run. It just drifts too much. Again, the wheelbase is too short on this. It does make it a little bit sketchy to drive. I'll try and get a good final lap in for this. I think 27.5 is possible for this. I think this could definitely go quicker than that Celica rally car that we had, that was sort of topping our leaderboard for a while, but again, it's just snaps of oversteer. It doesn't quite play ball. I don't know what the power distribution's like on this. That would be interesting. But yeah, it's just it's very hard to drive. It definitely could go quicker. Like I say, I think like 27.2 is possible. Through some sections it's quicker than that GTO. It loses a lot through the midsection. GTO is just way better dealing with bumps and coming out of corners and stuff like that. Like your corner traction in the GTO is significantly better than it is in this thing. But yeah, actually looking at those times, I'm not too far off on the split. So yeah, I think like it definitely could beat that Celica. I think between this and the Celica and this are both very difficult cars to drive, to be honest. The Celica, I would say, is slightly better, hence why I got the lap time out of it, but yeah, they're both a little bit iffy to drive, if I'm being honest, but still, let's be honest, it's not a bad result, is it? 27.713 places this into 3rd place. Yeah, it goes in between 2 other rally cars, the Celica rally car, which, as we mentioned, I think statistically it might have even been a little bit quicker, but also quite tricky to drive, and the Evo 6, which was very, very nice to drive, and that's why it got the lap time it did. Quicker than the Evo 5 RS, Impreza Coupe, R390, Vector M12. It's a very, very quick car. I think if this thing had a little bit more controllability, yeah, we could be looking at a GTO rival, being honest, but it just isn't, it just doesn't have the traction. It drives like it's on ice. Haha. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'm driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.
My hopes and dreams are going. I'll only got up in a war that you are not part of. Eyes on the slit of your father with love.